Today, in our age, while many of us are hustling to improve our monthly earnings, Allegra Versace was handed half of a multi-million-dollar fashion empire at just 11 years old. Imagine being that age, struggling to pick a dress color, and suddenly inheriting a global brand. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? Well, not quite. Allegra's story is far from the glamorous life you'd expect. Beneath the wealth lies a haunting tragedy. But before we dive into Allegra's world, let's start where it all began. Chapter 1. Who is Allegra Versace? Before we delve into Allegra Versace's life, it's essential to understand the man whose legacy she inherited. Gianni Versace, a pioneer of bold and sensual fashion, revolutionized the industry with his daring designs and celebrity connections, turning the Versace brand into a global powerhouse. Allegra Versace was born into this fashion royalty on June 30th, 1986, as the daughter of Donatella Versace, Gianni's sister, and the brand's future creative director, and Paul Beck, a former American model. Allegra practically had fashion running through her veins. By the time she was 2 days old, she had already attended her first Versace show. Yes, days old. At just 11 years old, Allegra's life changed forever. Gianni Versace, her beloved uncle and fashion icon, was brutally murdered outside his Miami mansion in 1997 by Andrew Cunanan. It wasn't just a shock to the family, it rocked the entire fashion world. And when Gianni's will was read, it was revealed that Allegra was now the heir to 50% of the Versace empire. Chapter 2. Privileged early days. Now imagine being a preteen and being told you're inheriting a multi-million-dollar empire. Sounds like the plot of a movie, doesn't it? But this was Allegra's real life. Her inheritance, estimated to be worth around $800 million today, came with its own pressures. While most of us were worried about homework and what snack we'd have after school, Allegra was navigating a world of corporate meetings and high fashion expectations. Growing up, she was the best-dressed little girl in Milan. Imagine going to elementary school in silk Versace outfits while your classmates were in jeans and t-shirts. Despite being in a family that lived for the spotlight, Allegra seemed content staying in the shadows. Chapter 3. The Weight of Tragedy. But even in those shadows, tragedy found her. Gianni's death hit Allegra hard. She reportedly felt guilty for not being with him the day he was killed. Can you imagine carrying that kind of weight as a child? That guilt, combined with the immense pressure of living up to her family's name, started taking a toll on her. In her teenage years, Allegra became increasingly reclusive. And while the world saw a future fashion mogul in her, Allegra was fighting battles of her own. Photos of her during the early 2000s shocked many. She was visibly thin, leading to growing concern about her health. In 2007, the Versace family released a statement confirming that Allegra had been battling anorexia for years. Behind the gilded gates of fashion, this heiress was struggling with mental and physical health. Chapter 4. The Price of Fame. Let's be honest, we often assume that with money and fame, everything should be perfect, right? But Allegra's life is a reminder that wealth doesn't protect you from pain. Despite being worth nearly $1 billion, she's lived most of her adult life away from the public eye. She moved to the United States to attend Brown University and the University of California, Los Angeles, studying French, art history, and theater. Pursuits far from the runways and fashion shows that defined her childhood. Allegra did eventually join the board of directors at Versace, but even today, she's more comfortable behind the scenes than in front of flashing cameras. In fact, she once admitted that she hates celebrities and prefers to use her father's last name, Beck, to avoid the attention that comes with being a Versace. Maybe she's the only person who'd look at an $800 million net worth and go, yeah, I'll pass on the spotlight.